All right. I believe we are officially live. Hello, Culers, and welcome back to Barca Universal, and welcome to another live stream. I did the first last week with a little Atletico preview. Of course, we drew that game. We've drawn to Levante as well, and it looks like La Liga is officially done. But today, guys, we have a really, really important issue to talk about. The issue I'm sure you guys, you're all talking about in the comments and in the live chat on social media. Everyone's discussing Ronald Koeman. For that, we're joined by two very special guests. Barca boy, you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. Nice to chat also, again with...
Yeah, sorry, mate. Just cut you out
there. No, go ahead. It's nice to have a chat, that's all. Yep.
And also going to be joined by a blogger on our planet. So thank you guys both for coming on.
Hey, thank you, Pablo, for inviting me. And I'm looking forward for a great chat. So let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Well, let's not waste any more time then. Let's go one by one. What are your thoughts on the current situation, and more specifically on Ronald Koeman, basically, because obviously we're going to have a lot to say. I think on this one, but let's start with you, Barca boy. Ronald Koeman, should he stay? Should he go? What's the whole situation? What's your thinking behind everything we're hearing right now?
For me personally, the situation is quite delicate. As you all know, Ronald Koeman has sacrificed a lot to become the Barcelona manager. I said this before, I said it again. I don't think he's the manager going forward. I don't think we have a future in him. I think if he continues, he'll be sacked by January, December, February time, similar to Valverde. But if we do continue with him, I'm still on the fence with it, right? Because if we sack him, we sack him. If we don't, we don't. I'm kind of in the middle with it. I can see both sides to it. You have one side, in-game management crap, crap, big games crap. He dealt with 2 Messi interviews, no president, won the Copa del Rey, paid his own release clause to come here. I'm in the middle with it, but again, I don't see him being successful in the long term at this club. If he wants to stay another year, then we can bring in a proper replacement. I may be on that board, but there's no future with Ronald Koeman, in my opinion, unless he does drastic changes for sure. If Roberto wants to risk it with him, give him another year, maybe he'll change all of our minds. It could be a possibility. At this current moment, I don't see Barcelona with a future with Ronald Koeman.
Yeah. All right, Alex. What about you? Because he made some good points there, and it's almost like he made a good point about there's not really that much of a future, it seems, with Ronald Koeman. So is it even worth keeping him next season? What's your thoughts? I'm interested to hear what you think on the whole situation right now, to be honest.
Yeah, so I have to agree with a lot of things that Barca boy said. Not all of them. I think that it's a very difficult decision whether to decide if Koeman stays or not. I'm going to leave that to Laporta, but I'm going to give you the pros and the cons. Basically, the pros is that Koeman is a brave guy. He sacrificed, yes, okay. That's his own problem, though. We're looking into Barcelona right now, no? Yeah. I understand Koeman is a legend of the club. To me, it's not enough to be the Barcelona coach. But Bartomeu decided so because his experience, Koeman's experience, there's nothing that you can really grab into and basically justify his arrival to Barcelona. The only thing that can justify his arrival is the fact that he's a brave guy, that he can actually have a good connection with the players, and that he's a legend of Barcelona. To me, certainly, it's not enough. Tactically, as Barca boy said, he's nowhere near a mastermind, and we need somebody. I'm not asking for a mastermind, but we need somebody that can start building the foundations of the future of Barcelona. And to me, Ronald Koeman is simply not it, because we need somebody that can outsmart all the other coaches that are out there in Europe. And our team is very good. So we need to see more stuff from this team. I expect more. We have the best player in the world, the best player in history, and we barely win the Copa del Rey. Some things need to change.
Yeah. You both made good points there, to be honest. There are pros, there are cons. In terms of going on next season, it looks difficult for Koeman to continue. We could stick with him, but it's going to be hard for him, for the fans. He's slowly getting that sort of that Valverde legacy. When we went into the 1920 season, and the whole fan base just hated the manager, and that's such a horrible dynamic to have going into a season. It really is. It just sets you up badly. But in terms of pros and cons, it's probably looking like there's more cons right now. We'll probably go into more details on the cons in a minute, to be honest, because I think there is a lot to talk about. But in terms of a fair assessment, do you think it would be fair to keep Koeman or to sack Koeman? If we're talking about Barcelona, like Alex said, not just Koeman. Should he stay? Should he go? Hafed, I want to start with you first on that one. Like, what are your thoughts? Would it be fair to get rid of him, or would it be fair to actually say, you know what, have a summer, have Depay, see what you can do, mate? Or would it be even fairer to say, no, we're Barcelona here, we need to win La Liga, we have to be better tactically? What are your thoughts?
Based on Barcelona, he has to go. He has not shown any signs of anything. If you go look at my videos back in the beginning of the season when I had 200 subscribers, I was saying it. When we lost a Clasico, when we lost a Getafe at the beginning of the season, you can't see anything with Ronald Koeman. Then he started to change. Went to 3 at the back. First he went to the 4-3-3, worked out 3 at the back. He just, on the pitch, as a manager, he does not show us any good signs whatsoever. Like I think Alex said in his match preview for the Levante game, he uses the same 14 players every single game. You watch my match previews, it's the same predicted lineup every single week because we know what he's going to pick. He'll make a maximum 1 or 2 changes, and he goes and complains about the fixtures, the schedule. No one's telling you to play the same 11 players every single week. You have quality players on the bench. I think someone tweeted, one of the journalists, saying that the salary of the bench at Levante was 19 million. So they just sat on the bench, earned 19 million, and went home. It's just outside the pitch, I think he's done a fairly good job, to be honest. Like I said, he dealt with 2 Messi interviews. You all know Messi just barely talks at all. But on the pitch, it's not at the level that we want. And again, like Alex said, it's going to be down to Laporta. He's going to have to make the move on it. We all know if Laporta was the president, he would not have appointed him. We all know that Laporta's board is in his ears saying, look, he's not the right man. He's a legend. We thank him for coming in at a difficult time. But like back to your question, on the pitch, he's not good enough.
To add in a comment here, and I understand Ronald Koeman came in a difficult situation, and I think we also have to think about the actual situation that he came in, right? Ronald Koeman is a brave coach, and the situation with Barcelona is the fact that we're in a transition year, or if you like to call it this way or not, but the reality is that Barcelona have been dragging themselves in Europe for the past 5 years. Ronald Koeman cannot change everything in one season, and certainly with the help of Bartomeu, that's impossible. So we need, now that Laporta is here, things could change. We also have to look at the players. The backbone of Barcelona has been the same for the last decade. The first 5 years was working amazingly. The last 5 years have been nowhere near the level, right? And obviously the replacements, the add-ons to this backbone have been a complete failure. Thank you to Bartomeu, and I'm not going to mention Bartomeu anymore because it's a name nobody wants to hear. But the fact is that the replacements haven't been there, right? You signed Coutinho for a crazy amount of money. He earns a ton of money, and that's obviously something that's hurting the club right now, because you need to pay his salary and you need to actually make up all the money that you invested in the player while he's always injured, that now you need to loan him. Griezmann, another player like that. And Dembele as well. You invested crazy amounts. He earns 10 million per year, and they're not giving you the results.
No.
And to be fair, Koeman, they gave him Serginho Dest. He got Pedri. He got Ilaix Moriba. He has Ricky Puig. He doesn't want to use him. That's another point we can discuss. But I think that the players also have a part here to blame. And certainly, if you just change the coach every 6 months or every season, the main problem is still there. Obviously, to me, it's hand to hand, the coach and the players. But it's very difficult to actually change all the players in one season.
It's more easy to change the manager. That's why I see a lot of people sack their managers too.
But at the end of the day, as I said, the backbone of Barcelona, and in fact, I'll be uploading a video very soon about it, talking about this. There are 6 players in Barcelona that played against Levante, that were in the final, in the Champions League game against Roma, against Liverpool, and against
Yeah.
Bayern Munich. Those 6 players are still here, and
Yeah.
they were all defeated in those games, and they're still there. And in fact, let me tell you one thing: they're earning crazy amounts of money, and the amount of money they're earning is probably the highest of any football player in Europe in their position.
Yeah.
Look at the situation Bartomeu left us.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about Koeman, and I understand because Koeman is not the fit for Barcelona, because the experience is not there. We're not seeing anything good from Koeman, but only like he's playing with the youngsters. Okay, but he has no other option. So I think it's a very difficult thing to do, to reinvent this club. But maybe the easiest thing would be to keep Koeman, because otherwise you have to pay him his salary. We don't have any money.
Is there not a release clause in his contract that when the new president comes in, he could leave? I think the same thing happened with Setien that Bartomeu put in there. I think that's in there. I'm not 100%. I think when he did the presentation, he said it's a 1-year contract, 1-year extension for the new president. We all knew the election would be next year, but then it got called earlier, of course. But I don't know if you know about that. I just wanted to throw that in there. But if we have to pay
I'm not sure. I haven't, to be fair, from all the information that I have is that if Koeman doesn't continue next season, we're going to have to pay his salary. To me, there's no clause.
Yeah.
And Barcelona in a very tight position. I don't know exactly how much Koeman earns, possibly 3 to 5 million or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a considerable amount of money, taking into account that you're going to have to sign another coach, pay him whatever he wants to get, and also we still haven't paid Setien. Remember, Setien is still we still
poor guy, man.
That's the funny thing, right? They fired him, and we still haven't paid him. And now we're going to be talking about firing Koeman, paying Koeman, and we haven't still paid Setien, and then get another guy here that also earns around 5 million per season. It's a difficult decision, as I said at the beginning.
Yeah, you made some really good points there, the one I liked is we have to talk about the players. We have to talk about the players at Barcelona, because no matter who the coach comes in, if we're playing the same guys, the same sort of 6 guys that you mentioned there that have been playing in all the European disasters, then we're gonna be in trouble basically. Look, I think we don't want to blame one individual, for example, like the main one that I think here that we might all have a question about. That's a question for you, Blog.
Alex.
Sergio Roberto.
Right. No, it's a fair question. I saw it, Alejandro. I think, look, Sergio Roberto certainly is not having a good time. He didn't have a good season. Neither he did in the last 2-3 seasons. And to me, obviously, Roberto, right now, his situation in Barcelona is very difficult. I don't think he can continue, because as a right back, I don't think he's good enough. He doesn't have this equilibrium. He doesn't run into the space, which at this moment with this formation that we have is key to run into the space. Sergio Roberto doesn't fit in that position. In the midfield, I think this guy is completely out. So at the end of the day, Sergio Roberto doesn't fit in Barcelona. But I also think that a lot of people have been very unfair with Sergio Roberto. Not saying it because of his last games. I completely agree. He wasn't playing well. But when you're seeing Sergio Roberto as a third center back, you have to understand that he's not going to be like
his first game.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. Against Ibiza, I remember Sergio Roberto playing
and Jornada at home, and we had 80 possession or whatever. He did the same thing.
Yeah. Setien.
Sergio Roberto in La Masia, he was an attacking midfielder, not holding midfielder, not a Kanté style of play, attacking midfielder. Now they place him as a right back, as a center back. Obviously, he's going to perform poorly. And I understand the kid doesn't fit in the club, but I think people are too rough sometimes with the players, and at least it's not my style to criticize directly to a player and bash him, because that doesn't help. Constructive criticism, it does help. But I leave that there. Anyways, I think that Barcelona need a proper right back, need a pure right back that can create this equilibrium, that's good in defense, that's good in attack. Emerson is a good option.
Yeah.
I would try.
I was just about to bring that up. I was just about to bring that up. I
Yeah,
cannot.
but Barca boy, touch on Emerson, and then we'll speak a bit more about some other players. But go ahead.
I'm so worried that Laporta may sell Emerson. You have to remember Emerson in La Liga right now with Carvajal injured. In my opinion, he's the best right back in the league. You look at his numbers, look at his performances, unbelievable. I think he would provide so much competition, like good competition, of course, with Dest. Of course, Dest can play left back as well. He's not getting too many minutes. I think I'm just so worried that Laporta will get an offer for him because I just uploaded a transfer video. Bayern Munich are in for him. PSG, AC Milan, Tottenham, every single top club in Europe that need a right back want Emerson. We have a good talent. This probably maybe could be one of Bartomeu's good signings that I can only count my few fingers. It could be. I think we should, take a risk on him. We already paid $9 million for him. His transfer value right now is like $30 million. $9 million for him. I think he would be a great signing again. Provide cover for Dest. And of course, that could be a way for Roberto to leave. I think for me, I'll touch on Roberto quickly before you ask your next question. The Roberto, for me, he's a very good, versatile player. If you have injury crisis, you can put him in anywhere. For me, I've been watching Barcelona long enough. I've seen him play in every single position on the pitch, except for striker and goalkeeper. Yeah. I think he's very versatile. He was one of my favorite players back in 2016, 2015. That La Masia player, kind of that Ricky Push kind of player at the time. Yeah. But he has no place in the squad for me. I think his performances this season have been absolutely dreadful. And the only reason why he's here, and I'll say it again, is because he scored that goal against PSG. I think if he hasn't scored that goal against PSG, he would have left back in 2018, 2019.
Nah.
Honestly,
Barca boy, believe me, that's nonsense. What you just said that is nonsense. I mean, listen. Neither you or me are a football coach, or a professional football coach, or earn 5 million per year for talking about football. Anyways, what I want to say is the fact that Sergio Roberto, as you said, is a very versatile player. That's why coaches want him in the squad, because he can actually
every single week though.
But he doesn't start every single week.
If we have a Champions League final tomorrow, I promise you, Koeman would start him, Setien would start him, Valverde would start him.
Guess why? Because there's no other person that can play in that position better than him, or at least that's what they think. Okay,
that's what they think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
in the past, but Dest this season though, we have a right back now.
Sergio Dest is not ready for a big game.
If we have a Champions League final tomorrow, Roberto's starting at right wing back, right center back, right midfield, right striker, I don't care. Roberto's going to be in that team.
But how does that?
Whether it's Setien, Valverde, Koeman, any of them are starting.
But what I have to disagree with you is that people think that just because he scored the six goals against PSG, we keep him in the squad. That's nonsense.
It's a little bit of a hot take for me. Maybe I went too far
there, but nobody does that. Nobody does that. The coaches see him as a very versatile player. The problem is that he's been playing in positions as like a backup, and as it's a backup that doesn't fit every position. It's like if you have a player that's good in every position. No, it's okay, that can work in every position, but it's not really good in any position. That's the problem. Barcelona need a renovation and need new players that can fit nicely in certain positions, not one player that can play 10 positions. It makes no sense. He'll never master any of these positions. And that's what's happening.
I agree. Let me answer that question, then Pablo can ask his next question. We replaced the greatest right back in the game in Dani Alves with Roberto. Luis Enrique told us for one season we're going to keep Roberto. We couldn't find the right back we wanted. And it's been 5 years, he's still playing at right back. Of course, he's versatile, right? He can go left, center back, whatever. But if we were going to, his main position is a right back. His FIFA card is right back. His transfer value is as a right back. At the right back position, he is not good enough. Going forward, he's great. As you just said, La Masia, he was an attacking midfielder. Proves why he has good crosses, is good going forward, and can defend. As a right back, he should not be at the club anymore. And I said that goal about PSG because I believe that in 2018, when we had the opportunity to sell him to Manchester City, if he didn't score that goal against PSG, if he wasn't the fourth captain, I think Bartomeu would have taken the offer. But because he's this kid from La Masia, PSG goal, it's all over. You have to remember, you go to Barcelona Museum, that PSG goes all over the place, and yet in the next round we lost 3-0 to Juventus. Anyways, I think that's one of the main reasons. Not main reason. Let me rephrase that. It's one of the small reasons why they kept him. That's all I'm saying. And I think if like I said, he didn't score that goal, I think we would have sold him for 16 million when City offered him that money a few windows ago.
Yeah, he has gained himself like almost an untouchable reputation at the club. Like he can't be sold because he's from La Masia, because he scored the goal against PSG, the run against Real Madrid. Also, for me, the main fact is because he's the fourth captain of the team as well. He's meant to be like a big figure at Barcelona. That makes it so hard.
He is, because they voted for him, right? So clearly he is.
I honestly don't know how that happened. For me, that's another odd thing that's happened over the past years. But we have to talk about players, guys, because you are right. If we change the coach and keep playing the same players, we're not going to win anything. I'm talking about the same guys that played in every single game. Individually, then, like Busquets, for example, has been outstanding. One of our favorite players. He's been an absolute legend for Barcelona. Same with Piqué, to be fair. He came back in and did all right this season. He shouldn't be playing every game either. But when we line up to every single game with Ter Stegen, Roberto, Piqué, Lenglet, Alba, Busquets, come on, we can't keep doing that. And I cannot believe that in 2021, after we did this massive renovation this season, we had a massive game to win La Liga and we were playing the exact same guys. It makes no sense to me. It's sad to watch. I can't believe it. And we pay the price every time.
The experience, right? At the end of the day, instead of going with those young players in Dest.
And you know what's sad about that? The reason we're in the title race is because he went with the youth. The reason we're in the title race is because he played Minguez at centre back, Dest. He got Dembélé on form. He got De Jong on form. Pedri was playing every game. He got Araujo in the team. Griezmann was on form. Messi was with all the young guys who can help him run off the ball. That's why we got so close to Atletico, despite thinking back in December, can we get in the top four? Can we get over Real Sociedad this weekend? That's what we were thinking in December. We won every single game with Roberto and Piqué injured. We don't want, like I said, we don't want to, slate players individually. But the fact of the matter is, we clearly need a rejuvenation. We said that after Roma. We said that after Liverpool. And especially after conceding 8 goals to Bayern Munich, we said that. We finally got it this season. We won so many games. And as we were about to take top spot in La Liga, we went back to every single thing that put us in a horrible position in the first place. I can't get that. Not playing all of them at the same time. And whoever comes in next, if it's Koeman stays next season, if Ten Hag comes, if it's Garcia Pimienta, even if it's Xavi Hernandez, who would have been teammates of a lot of these guys, we have to rejuvenate the team. We were doing it. It was working. That's a big point for me. Rejuvenation of the team.
Yeah, I'll start off. For me, the main players you talked about, your Jordi Albas, your Busis, your Piqués, your Roberto. I think one of those players has to leave this summer, and you have to start looking for replacements for them. They should not be playing 40-plus games this season. I'm sorry. You want to start Piqué against Elche at home? You want to start him against Levante at home? Sure. He should not be playing Levante away. Atletico Madrid at home. Atletico Madrid away. Like, I still can't believe we have the same back line, honestly. Jordi Alba, for me, he's been fantastic this season. Same with Busquets. Piqué, he's done okay. He had a big injury. Same with Roberto as well.
Yep.
But these players, when it comes to crunch time, when it comes to the big games, the most important points of the season, they capitulate. I think Busquets is probably the best out of the lot of them. Maybe him and Jordi Alba. I think they can go on for maybe a season or two.
For sure.
But the good thing, like the most important thing, is that big players recognize when their time is done. You look at Mascherano, you look at Xavi, you look at Iniesta. They knew when their time was up. And they said it for the greater of the club, it's time for me. Honestly, Iniesta would walk into our midfield right now. 35, 36-year-old who just signed a new contract with Vissel Kobe, he'd walk into our team still. And yet, these other players, your PKs, he said after the Bayern Munich game, it's time for fresh blood to come in. And yet, he's still playing 40-plus games a season later. It's time to start. I think Roberto will start doing that this summer. You have Eric Garcia's already done deal. He's going to be coming in. You have Araujo, who unfortunately got injured again, so he hopefully he's not injury prone. It's time to start. I wouldn't kick them all out. I wouldn't do like a Suarez treatment, or Rakitic treatment, or Dani Alves treatment. I'd say, look, you're going to play like maximum, unless you have an injury crisis, 20 games this season, 2025. So 2025, so half the games if we go the full length in every competition. If they don't accept that, then you say, okay, time for you to move on. If they accept it, that's okay. But if they have injuries and they come in, they play like crap, then you have to hold your hands up. But it's time for them to move on. The PKs, the Jordi Albas, the Robertos, Busquets, although they can still, Busquets, Jordi Alba, we can still do it for another year or so. But it's definitely time to move on the golden era of Barcelona players that were, gave us that joy back in 2010.
I agree. I think the backbone is, we cannot get rid of the whole backbone, but for example, Piqué's knee is hurt, isn't it? Then I think it's a good time just to leave a space for a youngster to come in get the experience. He
Talk
earns
about
a lot of money as
Busquets
well.
helmets as well. You know, Busquets has to play with the helmet on. You can't bring in
I
someone
mean,
else.
yeah. But see, Piqué's, I mean, Busquets thing, I think, is right now with this formation, he's secured. He can play well. Obviously, if you play him every game, he's gonna be cooked.
He's the only one who can play there, though. That's why he's playing every single game. But
But that's the problem as well. We need good substitutes that can actually replace the players when they're very tired, even in crucial games, and that can actually take their spot once the big player retires. The problem right now is that with Bartomeu, we've been patching every single position, like with Sergio Roberto. Sergio Roberto is a patch. He's a patch.
It's like what Messi said.
Sergio Roberto is a patch. Piqué needs to go, to me, because he earns too much money and his knee is destroyed. Sergio Roberto is a patch that needs to go. There's other players that need to go, but at this moment, from the backbone, I'd say keep the rest. Keep Jordi Alba. He can give you good performance. Busquets, he can give you good performance too. But obviously, we need a replacement, and for Jordi Alba as well, because Firpo, at least he didn't have any opportunities. I didn't see anything good from him in the little opportunities that he had. Maybe we should have seen more of Firpo, because in Betis he was good. He came here. I think he had the Andre Gomez pressure. You know, like Firpo is.
It's just Jordi Alba. Every time there's an opportunity for Firpo to come in, Jordi Alba will say, "Okay, this one more last game." Jordi Alba plays crap. Firpo comes in. Jordi Alba will go, give 3 assists to Messi and score a goal and put in a good performance. That's the problem with Firpo. He just every time there's an window just opening, Jordi Alba always shut it down. Remember, at the City as well. He started a little bit when he played Roberto. He came on. The problem with Firpo is when he gets that one little opportunity, that little window, he doesn't play that much. He's not match fit, not match sharp, and he doesn't play well. So go continue.
I was just saying, go on, Pablo. Just let me finish with that. Is that obviously from the backbone, I would say Roberto and Piqué out, because they're not giving good performances. And Piqué's knee next season, I'm very afraid what's going to happen with Piqué. He's not going to be able to play every game, and he's not gonna give us a good level overall. Therefore, so for the money that he earns, you better leave the space for somebody else. And obviously, from all the other players that we have in the squad, I think that we need other replacements. For example, Braithwaite. I'm sorry, my respects to the Danish people and to Braithwaite myself.
The people came out this morning. See what they said? They said Barcelona are satisfied with Braithwaite. I mean, come on.
Standards on the floor.
That's not Barcelona who said that. That's not Barcelona who said that. That's the press who's saying that. Okay, so we have to differentiate. Anyways, what I was saying is that, and I have nothing against Braithwaite. And in fact,
no one does. Everyone loves him.
He's not the one to blame for players like Braithwaite or Pjanic that arrived to Barcelona. It's not their blame. I'm not going to blame them. They actually got a really good deal coming here. And anyone would have accepted
with Leganes about to get relegated. Hey, you want to come to Barcelona real quick? A little bit, 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Earns probably 3 times more. Maybe he won a title, or
play with Neo, travel with luxury.
So
your kids, your grandkids, you actually played for Barcelona. It's a win-win for them.
If Agüero arrives, there's no chance that Braithwaite continues. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe there is a chance, but it doesn't. It makes zero sense. Also, Ansu Fati is coming in. Ansu Fati.
I'm worried about Ansu Fati, man. I swear, he was out Betis in November before the international break. He went down. 1 month he'll be back, maybe 2 months. He's out for the rest of the season. He's had 3 freaking surgeries. I'm really scared because I feel like this may have a big hinder on his career. And by the way, we have to talk about the medical staff as well. The medical staff of Barcelona is an absolute disgrace. I cannot believe what I've witnessed at this club's medical team. Like, they put Busquets back on the pitch who had a freaking concussion. He went back on the pitch and just collapsed. And they sent him back on the pitch. Me and Alex offer the medical staff. We'll add Pablo in too. We'll do better than them. The medical staff. Oh my God, that's something. It's another topic, but they have to be.
I don't think that they're that bad, because, for example, the Ansu Fati thing. If you want to make reference on that, they tried to save his meniscus. They tried their best to save his meniscus. Normally, when a player has this injury, they remove the part that is broken. Instead, here they actually tried all the time to fix it, so that they didn't have to remove it. I'm not a medic. I'm not an expert here in medicine, but I see the good intention, and from the sources that I have, is and knowing the Dr. Kuat is the doctor who operated him. I really doubt they made it was a disaster. I really doubt it, because this guy is an expert and he has operated hundreds of players, and they have all had good careers. I think that Ansu Fati's injury is very delicate, and looking at his talent, they tried to save his meniscus. It wasn't possible. I'm not here to defend anyone, but I'll give you my opinion. People are bashing medicals. People are bashing medicals, and for example, in terms of Busquets, I'll reply to you as well. You know who said that wanted to play? Busquets is the one who said he's ready to play.
Okay, but if you see him, he's not responding to their questions, Alex. If
Koeman.
It's not Busquets' decision. It should be the medical.
Koeman wasn't even on the pitch. He was on the pitch. He was in the stands with Puyol talking with the
Koeman was in La Porta.
Blame Koeman. Don't blame the medical team. It doesn't make sense. Blame Koeman. Look, Koeman is smart enough to know.
They said that Pedri had a sprained ankle, to be out for 3 weeks, and he played the next game 3 days later. He trained. Wait. They released the medical announcement that he's out 2 weeks injured. He trained 3 hours later, Alex. It doesn't make sense. The medical staff. You look at Coutinho.
And what?
What do you mean? And what?
No, it doesn't make sense. Look, Barca boy. Look, let me tell you. Pedri actually left the stadium with crutches.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, with crutches. So it was the medical team. They were use the crutches. If he was good, he would have walked off. He wasn't good. Obviously, he had the miracle recovery, but the injury wasn't that bad, and what it showed that it was just a hit, and the medical team were just trying to prevent it. Look, I'm gonna give you a resume here. Look, haters, they're not welcome in Barcelona. No haters, because it doesn't provide anything. We need constructive criticism. Hating doesn't bring you anywhere. And that's the
hate. I'm going to constructive criticism. I'm saying that they're not good enough, and unless they shape up, we're gonna have more of the same thing. You look at Piqué's knee; he was out for a long time, longer than he was supposed to be, and then he came back. I think he trained on the pitch the next day. The first time he trained on the pitch after being out for 3 months. 2 days later, he's playing against PSG in the Champions League round 16. You can't deny, Alex, that the medical staff have had a lot of flaws. You see, talk about Pedri leaving the pitch.
But it has changed. The medical team changed last year. They fired the guy. They fired him. Look, nobody here is experts here in medicine. We don't know exactly what's happening with the players. So I think it's a nonsense that we're debating about this. It's nonsense. But one thing is for sure is that people bash for free on Twitter and on social media, and they have no idea. Neither have I, so I don't want to talk about this topic. Simple as that.
All right.
Well, there's been loads of comments asking about like every player in the squad. We could probably do another live one day, to be honest, entirely going through player by player and discussing them a little bit. Should they leave? Should they stay? Maybe go on loan? Who should we bring in to replace them? You know, we've had Dembélé, we've had Lenglet, we've had Jordi Alba, Balde coming in at left back. We've had did I mention Lenglet? I think I did. You look at Braithwaite up front, example, Depay, Aguero, all of that sort of stuff. Look, we could go on to that loads, and like this guy said here, to be honest, we're here to discuss coaches, and we've said quite a few things around the team and Ronald Koeman, which of course are still relevant. We're here to talk about Barcelona, but let's say Koeman does leave, and this is maybe the main reason why Koeman will stay next season is because there won't be a replacement. Who would come in?
A viable replacement, yeah.
Exactly. Who would come in? Because the options are Xavi, of course, Garcia Pimienta, and then perhaps we could go and reach out and get someone like an Erik ten Hag, that sort of option.
Thierry Henry.
No way do you want Henry. No way do you want Henry.
For me, I'd go with Garcia Pimienta. I think he's done so well with Barcelona B. Easy replacement. You promote him up. And the funny thing is, I tweeted about a week ago, my dream would be Pimienta come in, then Xavi come in as Barca B, and now I'm seeing the media talk about this, all that sort of stuff. I would love for that to happen. For me, the best option, if you're looking outside of Barcelona, I would say that's, reasonable. Not reasonable, I mean, realistic would be Erik ten Hag. I think he's done really well. Ajax system, he semi-final of the Champions League, back-to-back Eredivisie. But for me, if I had to choose, I'd go Garcia Pimienta. He's done so well in the Barcelona B. I think it's a bit too early for Xavi. Again, I know people say that, you don't need experience in Europe. I don't want to see him experience in Europe. I just want to see him anywhere else but the Qatar League, just anywhere else.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
for me, I would say Garcia Pimienta if I had to choose, if I was Laporta.
Yeah, I'll say what I think on the new coach and who could come in a minute. Alex, what do you think about new coach for next season? If Koeman was to go, and just discuss a few of the options, basically, give your thoughts on some of the potential options who could come in.
Yeah, certainly. I would use somebody that knows the La Masia, that knows Football Club Barcelona, has an insight already, because it would be very risky to bring another coach, restart everything again for maybe 2 more years until Xavi comes. Xavi renewed until 2023. That's 2 more years from now. I honestly think that Xavi is going to come not this season, the season after. And I have a feeling that Koeman will stay. But if Koeman had to go, Garcia Pimienta would certainly be a good replacement as a backup, because he knows the system, he knows the players very well, and he can play with the youngsters the best, probably.
Yeah.
And it's certainly gonna keep the spirit, right? And but replacing Koeman for Garcia Pimienta, maybe Garcia Pimienta is not going to give you that much, right? Obviously, Koeman is going to give you something different, and it's a risk. It's a risk keeping Koeman. But I have a feeling, I don't know, man, because they had the meeting today, right? Laporta and Koeman, and they came out of this restaurant, and I saw a very happy Koeman. I'm not sure why. I think there were so many journalists out there, and possibly they had an impact, like, whoa, like, what's going on out here, and they were acting strange about it. But yeah, anyways, I'm not so sure. I think Garcia Pimienta could be a good option, but certainly Xavi is going to come sooner or later in 1 or 2 years. So looking forward for that.
So who would you bring in this summer if you had to replace Koeman, let's say? That's the answer we all want to hear.
Garcia Pimienta as a reserve, man. Garcia Pimienta as a reserve,
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably agree on that. And this is kind of why, I mean, I have supported Koeman throughout the season. Like, I'm not supporting him now. I think he's struggled a lot, obviously. And, I suppose if we can get someone in better, then do it, because we need someone who's way sharper tactically if you want to win serious things. I think we've seen that in Europe, to be honest. When you saw Tuchel come in at Chelsea, just transformed it. I think he proved that these modern German coaches, for example, they can change teams. And, you look at Koeman right now. Are we really going to be able to compete basically in top European competitions, Champions League, against big managers? If we come up against Pep, for example, what's going to happen to Ronald Koeman? That's kind of what we got to see.
We're screwed.
Exactly. And we've got to remember that we are Barcelona at the end of the day. However, if we get rid of Koeman, perhaps it could be one of those things. Be careful what you wish for, like getting rid of Valverde for Setien. You can go from bad to even worse, even when it doesn't seem possible. So this is what we've got to be careful of, I feel. And Pimienta,
I've seen people saying bring back Valverde. He's still available. So many people are saying bring back Valverde, man. It's
yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose it makes people respect Valverde a little bit more, I feel, doesn't it? Because obviously he wasn't perfect for our football either, but he dominated La Liga. He won it 2 years in a row. If we kept him, he perhaps would have won it for a third in a row. So I mean, I think he showed with this aging Barca team that it is a hard job, and he did a good job with it, but. In terms of coach for next season, I just can't see Xavi ready. If we get Xavi in now, I feel it could be a bit of a, what Pirlo's done at Juventus, and that worries me. We're seeing.
I don't think it'll be like that. I think it'll be like a Frank Lampard, where he comes in, the fan base gets hyped up, they'll give him a season, and after the season, they'll be on him. I think the media, when Xavi first comes in first year, they won't say nothing to him. Out of respect what he done, 20 plus years at the club, they won't say anything. Second year, he'll lose, 2-1 to Levante at home. Oh, Xavi does no tactician, blah, 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 no experience, blah, 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 blah. Like Pep Guardiola talked about this too in his second year when he's the manager after winning the Stupel. The media just come after you, whether you lose one game and you can win 60 games and lose one, and that one game that that 24-hour window after you lost, you just get bombarded. Alex probably knows that he's a local.
It's very dangerous to be the Barca coach, man. Yeah. You're the face of everything. You're in front of all the press. And obviously, as Ronald Koeman is happening to Ronald Koeman right now, you get bashed, and you got to be brave. Obviously, Xavi is a smart guy. He doesn't want to come as soon as next season. He doesn't want to. We clearly see it with his renewal with Al Sadd. I think that Xavi next season is not happening, man. I just came to that conclusion. You know, it's very difficult. So Garcia Pimienta, yes, but I don't know if it's going to be too much difference between Garcia Pimienta and Ronald Koeman. You're going to leave the second team without a coach, and you're still going to have to pay Koeman. So
very good point.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
I think everyone can say, Koeman all this stuff. I think after the Levante game, I think like 50% of the fan base went Koeman out for that little 24 hours. But like Alex said, there's no viable replacement. If you replace him with Pimienta, look, either way, we're still going to be looking for a new coach if you sack Koeman. Because you either replace him, replace Pimienta, all that sort of stuff. It is. Yeah. I think it's the easiest thing for Juan Laporta to look at it and say, look, we'll give Koeman another few months. Until like I said, I think if Koeman continues, he'll be sacked by December, January, February time when all the games come in winter time, Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey all starts. So it's a very, very particular situation, and it's all going to be down to Laporta. We all want to be the president. We all trust the decision he makes, whether he sacks Koeman or keeps him. But it's a very, very tough decision. You don't want to rush to conclusions as well. Like people were saying, sack Koeman, you shouldn't even travel with the team after the Levante game. I'm seeing like people in my comments are saying that too. He shouldn't even be in the Barcelona offices to prepare for the Celta Vigo game. I think that's ridiculous. But it's going to be a big, big decision. Someone said in the comment, Alfred Schroeder for the main coach. I think hopefully that's a joke, but
if Koeman goes, if Koeman goes, and then Schroeder will go with Nagelsmann to Bayern. I think
exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say that as well. Yeah. People think it's the Barcelona Femini coach. I'm seeing a lot of people say Barcelona Femini coach. Like the women's game is very different than the men's game, unless he has any experience. I don't know. I don't think he does. Just because he plays well with the women's team doesn't mean it can replicate that. I agree. And of course, with the men as well, like Alex and I just said. Huge pressure as well. So,
I think at the end of the day, Laporta's easiest option is to maintain Ronald Koeman because looking for somebody else, investing money in that, also paying Ronald Koeman, I'm not so sure, man. They're gonna do it. It's been one season only.
Would you be disappointed if you continued, both of you? Would you be like, oh shit?
Not really. I mean, I understand the situation is really bad, But as we said at the beginning, the players have also a part of the blame. So if something changes there, and Ronald Koeman, certainly he's going to have learned from his mistakes. I hope. I really hope, because he made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know, man. I'm not really hopeful because this season you gave him the same test every single time. He had the same answer. So. I said this. Look ahead. I'll say that again 100 times. If he continues, I think he'll get sacked December, January, because the test is going to come to him again. Atletico Madrid at home. Let's go 3-5-2, Pedro in the midfield. Then he's going to fail the test again. That's all he's been doing this season. He gets the same test, the same question, and gets the wrong answer every single time. And that's something I hope Laporta in that meeting told him, like, look, you can't make the same mistakes again. Like one big game win this season. Football Club Barcelona, one big game win. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's been rough. Yeah.
If he continues, like Alex said, the easiest decision, easiest move is for him to just continue. I think if he continues, you can say, he's deserved it after everything he's done this season. Although the results haven't been good in the league, the fact that we're in the league title race is unbelievable for me. At the beginning of the season, we would go trophyless. So the fact we already won a trophy as well exceeded my expectations. But like I said, like we all said, it's going to be a big decision from Laporta, and we'll wait and see what he does. We'll probably know by the end of the month. Because I don't think he should go to the window with Laporta's future in doubt. I think he has to make that mind up. We're hearing that Messi's future could be in doubt after the Copa America. So that's going to be an old problem in itself. So I think after the game against Eibar, the last game of the season, going in that next week or so, should make a decision on.
We need decisions there, don't we? Yeah. What I'm worried about with keeping Koeman is, despite the fact we all agree there aren't really many suitable replacements right now, is what I worry about is accepting mediocrity. And we've got to be so careful we don't fall into that trap as Barcelona, really, because so many big clubs have done it. We've seen it at Man United, at AC Milan, even at Arsenal, just so many clubs who are just like kind of happy to just like stay because they're kind of scared to make that next step and go back to being a European elite. And look at us right now.
We're not scared though. That's the problem. We have other stuff on our plates. We'll put it that way. The manager is one of the top decisions that we have to make. But you have contract renewals that are coming up this summer. The debt, Champions League ban, the greatest football player to ever step on the pitch he's about to be free in about what? 15 days. He's about to be a free agent. So he has other stuff to deal with. And again, what Alex said, I think probably a good point that he made. The easiest decision is to keep Ronald Koeman. We don't want to accept mediocrity, of course, but like there's so much other stuff to deal with. Of course, the Camp Nou rebuild as well.
Yeah.
There's so many, like he's up there. Like of course, his decision about it is a priority, but there's so much stuff ahead of it at the moment. So, like I said, that week where we have the Eibar game before the transfer window opens, I think Laporta should make a decision then and stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot to talk about. Yeah, sorry, Alex, go and say your point.
Apparently, I'm just reading that. So the information that I've been getting is the fact that this meeting, they have decided nothing. Okay, they haven't decided Koeman's continuity in this meeting. And apparently, and obviously, as we knew already, is that Koeman, whether he stays or not, is going to be decided at the end of the season when all the games are done. Probably they were talking about next season in this meetup. I'm not sure. I'm speculating here, but
I hear rumors as well that he's planning for next season as well. Like he's
from what I've just read on, it looks like Koeman could be staying, guys.
I mean, yeah, I think as we said, that's the easiest option.
Exactly.
You can risk it and try to bring somebody else that doesn't know the club. Koeman didn't really know the club. He was a legend. He played 20 years ago. That doesn't mean that you know the essence of the club right now. Obviously, he was a fan. I understand that, but the experience of Ronald Koeman, I don't know, man. Bartomeu really brought hot potato here, man. Anyway, it's what we have.
Remember, Bartomeu was not Bartomeu. Koeman was Bartomeu's first choice when Valverde got sacked. So keep that in mind. He didn't want to leave for the Euros. Came back calling against it. Please come, man. And they're like, okay, I'll come. So we'll see. I think it's the easiest decision is to keep Ronald Koeman. Like I said, there's too many other priorities at the moment.
Yeah,
and it's just. I've never seen Barcelona change so many coaches, by the way, so many times as well. Like you see Real Madrid change coaches mid-season, all this stuff. Valverde was the first manager that I saw get sacked mid-season, and it's really weird seeing 3 Barcelona managers in the space of almost a year or so. So it's not really like Barcelona to do something like this as well. So we'll see what Laporta decides again. It's going to be a big decision.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're gonna roll on with Koeman and see if we can go again with Koeman next season. That's really interesting because then it goes back to the thoughts of signings. It looks like Agüero's going to be coming. Depay could even be coming on top of that. Then of course they've got to handle the Messi renewal. But for me, like we said also, guys, we have to rejuvenate this team. A few of the older defenders have to go. Some other guys have to come in. Emerson, Eric Garcia. In midfield, I think Nico's going to be coming through as well. As another option for Busquets, maybe to try and give him some resting games. And I think obviously we've got to change the team a lot.
Who did you say sorry to replace Busquets?
Nico Gonzalez.
Oh,
Nico.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's way too young to replace Busquets, but
of course. He'll train a little bit, maybe hopefully play in the Copa del Rey. He's not going to be on the bench for sure for the first team. He'll come in, train a bit, play with Barcelona B. Be on the bench for the Copa del Rey, maybe come on, but he won't be, straight in there. But yeah, I'm seeing reports right now saying that in the meeting that Koeman was told that he will continue and that Laporta is not looking for a new manager. So it's only one outlet saying that right now. So we'll see. I think they're just trying to jump on the gun and say, "Oh, we said it first. We're very, very reliable."
Yeah, it might have even been Marcel Llorente. So.
Yeah, so we'll see.
The so-called Titella, Marcel Llorente is the guy that got called a Titella.
Exactly.
By the way, I'm looking forward what the people have to say here about Ronald Koeman. The people that are watching, I don't know how many people are watching it right now, but I'm looking forward.
We've just over 200.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, guys, about Ronald Koeman? Should he continue? Should he not? I'm curious to see what the people
ready for the Koeman outside spam in the chat in about 10 seconds.
Yeah. I was going to say the consensus.
I've seen no one online. I've seen no one online say Koeman should stay. I've seen maybe like a few people on Twitter, but I haven't seen anyone say Koeman should stay. That has, Oh, there we go. We got one.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So what I feel is that the people that really want him out are always tweeting and stuff, and the people that maybe would give him a chance, they're not tweeting, But It's very difficult. Obviously, the easy thing is to fire everyone. Just burn Camp Nou and fuck it. We start from zero. But realistically, changing
starting from
stuff.
zero.
Yeah, no. Realistically, changing stuff is hard. As we said, look at the situation. You fire Koeman, you can bring in Pimienta, but you have to pay Koeman, still paying Setien. Everything is a puzzle.
I want to say this. I think the people that are saying Koeman out, they're kind of rushing to conclusions because they're trying to do, what people do in England. Of course, this, manager out stuff all came from England, from Wenger out, all the managers out, the Chelsea stuff. And it's kind of, shifted towards the top European clubs. You had people saying in Bayern Munich, coach out. You had people saying Zidane out, Lopetegui out. So it's kind of shifted towards here. I think people are just saying, oh, he's lost a few games. Well, that's a lot of games. He hasn't done too well in that sense. And then we'll just try to rush to conclude saying him out. But I know, Alex, since you're local, I've seen a lot of people that are locally saying, the Barcelona Culers, the associates, saying that if they could decide, they would stick with Koeman for another season. I don't know if you heard anything about that, but that's what I've been hearing.
Here, the opinion is divided. It's very divided. A lot of people are sticking with Koeman because they understand the situation is tough. Koeman had a chance of one season. Maybe it's too short. But there's a lot of people that want Koeman out, and it's a great debate. It's a great debate. Obviously, if you fix the players, if you get one or two signings for the long term, like real good signings, not some Antoine Griezmann or Coutinho stuff, and Griezmann has been performing in the last games, but it's a very big signing that's not so determinant as it should be, right? So I think, for example, if you bring Haaland, obviously it's going to be risky to have a coach like Koeman coaching such player, but it's going to be for one season maximum. I think if Koeman stays, it's going to be his last season. Yeah. What hurts me is the fact that it's going to be one more year of Leo Messi, right? It's like one more year of Leo Messi, wasted kind of thing, like wasted again.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. If you want to think of it in that sense, let's get rid of him. We only have a few left of Messi. Let's get a top manager in, try to push for the Champions League. But again, Laporta has to think about everything. He can't just think about, of course, Messi's a big factor. He's Alex's logo, so it's a big factor. But it's just you have to think about everything else. It's a very particular situation. It's Barcelona never been in this type of place. Well, now for a long time. Maybe back in 2008 was the last time when Rijkaard was about to leave. But it's such a delicate situation, and Laporta has to get his priorities straight and decide what he wants to, maximize most. But I think the only way Koeman can stay next season if maybe wins the double or the treble. If he just wins one trophy, unless it's the Champions League, he'll be gone. But like I said, I think if he keeps doing the same thing he's doing now, Laporta will cut him by like January time, and then Pimienta at the end of the season will probably be the most likely answer. Or you could bring in Xavi, give him, but we'll see.
This is a thing though. We're keeping Koeman, and we all know that he's only going to be here for maximum one more season. Let's be honest. Like, is that counterproductive?
No, because I think like I said in the beginning, he's earned enough to get that little bit of a chance. Like I said, in the summer, he had none of his signings. He was given Trincao, Pedri, and Pjanic. And Des, he had a little bit of a say on Des, but Bartomeu went because Des was pretty much the best option out there, the young player, Ajax. So I think, again, he deserved to have one transfer. He's only asked for one player. He's asking the player, is asking for his members to buy. That's all he wants. So you give him the signings. He'll have no excuses. He had 1 year under the club. If Messi's here. There won't be any questions about him every single press conference. So there won't be any. Right now, there's a lot of excuses for Ronald Koeman, like Alex said earlier. But once he stays that extra until September, no more excuses. You have to go out there, perform. You can lose one game here or there, make the right choices. So it's used the squad. If he doesn't, he'll be gone by crunch time, which is January.
But would you trust Koeman with signings? I mean, looking at Ronaldo,
he's asking for one player. I know it's not going to happen.
Look, we don't know how many players he asked for. I guess not many. But asking for Ronaldo is something that you can't do that. You can't do that.
Okay, I'm gonna defend Koeman a little bit. At the time when he was asking for him, though, there was no one there that was that powerhouse midfield. De Jong at the time was considered to be the Busquets replacement. I'm saying at the time. Right now, of course, Wijnaldum has not been linked with Barcelona. So it was justifiable at that time. He came straight in, he looked at the team saying, I don't have a powerhouse midfielder. Wijnaldum has 6 months left on his contract, 9 months. Let's bring him in on a cheap deal. But now we're not hearing rumors about Wijnaldum. We're hearing that he wants to
Wijnaldum,
rebound, which is good. The only
Wijnaldum
player that's been 100% Koeman has been asking for is Depay, who's probably one of the best players in league, double figures in goals and assists, top player, and he's on a free. Welcome Barcelona cannot lose on the Depay deal. You bring him in, he's not good enough. You can sell him for 20 million. If no one wants to buy him for 20 million, sell him for 10 million. You still make profit even on his salary. And he's the one player that Koeman has been asking for since day one. So, and Eric Garcia as well, but that was he was talked into that. So I think he's earned the right to have a transfer window with let him be. Don't attack him during the summer as well. But once the season starts, it's a go time. That's when you see what he does. Hopefully he improves everything. So because it looks like Koeman's going to stay now at this point because everyone's saying it now.
Hopefully we wouldn't have to pay a transfer. Not transfer fee to the club, but to the player, for the buy. Because I see his addition to you sub in, you get Braithwaite out and you bring in the pie. I think it's an upgrade, certainly an upgrade.
That's why we didn't get Alba, right? Because he was demanding literally like a transfer fee, like 25, 20 million, 30 million to come. But I think these players like Aguero,
and a crazy wage, Alaba.
But you have Aguero now and Depay who've agreed to absolutely slice their wages in half. So maybe they will get a little bit of a sign-on bonus, maybe 5 million, something like that. But that's not being reported at all. They're saying they're going to cut their wages and join on a free. So I think you bring up a good point in that. We'll see, because all we know, Barcelona going to make free transfers and Erling Haaland. That's the only thing we're doing right now. And maybe bring back Emerson.
Hopefully we get Haaland. Maybe, guys, quick question before we wrap up. Do you think we should bring in Gaia left back?
I'll take him. I think I said this in my videos before. We're going to sign him eventually. He's the best Spanish left back behind Jordi Alba. 25 years old from Valencia. The same thing that we did with Jordi Alba when we bought him. For me, we're going to sign him eventually. And Valencia are in a very, very bad situation. They're probably worse than us. They sold Rodrigo. They sold Parejo and Pocolan for together 5 million, which is one of the weirdest things I've seen as well. Fernando Torres as well. So I think Guy would be excellent signing. I'd give Miranda, loan him back when Muriel Betis. Alejandro Balde, maybe integrate him in a little bit. I don't want to just choke. People are just saying, chuck him in straight in there. That's ridiculous. We did that back with Miranda back in 2018. Valverde didn't like him, and Jordi Alba played every single game that season. So I think Guy at 15 million, you can't go wrong.
I agree. And I worry about Balde a little bit. I think the people commenting to bring Balde maybe haven't even watched him. I've watched him twice, 3 times here and there in Barca B games. I barely know anything about the guy. I don't know. I agree, give Balde a chance, sure, but we can't just throw La Masia players in. I think Gaia 15 million. You cannot go wrong, like you said. One of the best left backs in Europe defensively.
If we don't get Haaland, because we all know all the money is going to go to Erling Haaland.
Yeah. That's going to be
if
so
hard.
Happen,
I think Laporta should spend a little bit of that money. 9 million Emerson, 50 million on Gaia, maybe another 20 million on like a midfielder for Busquets replacement.
So a centre back maybe as well.
You have
Lisandro. Yeah, I'm thinking left-footed. If Longley was to leave, someone like Lisandro Martinez maybe from Ajax.
Well, Tutti is leaving, so I don't think so. I think we're going to have 2 right-footed centre backs next season. I don't see us getting a left-footed centre back. So I think, like I said, all in for Haaland. It doesn't happen. Spend a little bit of that money and then save the rest. The Camp Nou rebuild, all the stuff, save it for next summer. That's what I'm hoping for. But I am worried that Laporta will not spend any of the money if he doesn't get Erling Haaland. But what do you think, Alex? Do you think Haaland is possible?
I certainly think that Haaland is possible. I have really high hopes Haaland is going to come. I know it's the first objective of Joan Laporta. We saw it. He came to Barcelona. Alfie Haaland was Haaland's father. He came. Mino Raiola has a good connection with Laporta. Laporta is locking in the funds in order to make the signing. It's an investment more than a signing. I see Haaland as a good possibility. As the rumors are indicating, Mbappe could end up in Real Madrid this season or the next. I don't know. If that doesn't end up happening, then we're going to have some trouble because I know Florentino likes to get into Barcelona signings. But overall, I think that Haaland could arrive. And I have really good feelings about it because Laporta is that kind of a guy. He needs an explosive signing and a determinant one.
He did with Ronaldinho, remember? So
and so in fact, I think that, for example, talking about Gaia, I think that the sooner the better. But I think Laporta is going to wait 1 season because if we invest in Haaland and Eric Garcia and whatever. But looking at the defense, before we wrap up, I think we need to concentrate in the defense because Eric Garcia is a good addition for the future, but immediate performance,
I think he did well in the immediate term. Like you see, you have to remember if he signed a new contract with Manchester City, he'd be starting beside Ruben Diaz. But Guardiola speaks so highly of him. He was a starter, and the only reason why they signed Nathan Ake and Ruben Diaz was because Eric Garcia was leaving. I think I've seen Eric Garcia play a lot during the Corona times, and plus in the beginning of the season now before he stopped playing.
Yep.
I'm not gonna hype him up a lot, but I think he is a quality player. And also remember, Luis Enrique picks him for the national team, and he starts.
He's very good.
Ramos.
He's been very good.
He does not play a single minute for City, and he still gets picked to start for Spain in the back line with Ramos. So there's no denying fact he's a great player. I think he's gonna, I don't want to hype him up, but I think he's going to come in and do a very good job. I think I think his signing will give us, a window to wait to get that left-footed center back with his signing. Then we can focus on, Erling Haaland, right back, Emerson, left back, Gaia. But like Alex said, the defense is a huge, huge investment. Of course, you want to go for that big summer signing in Haaland first, the marquee signing, get the shirts up, get people excited. But the next 2 seasons, Laporta has to really focus on the defense.
Yeah. And I think Laporta this summer, to try and keep Messi at the club of the sporting project, will try and get a big signing in. Anyway, guys, we're gonna start to wrap it up there because it's just turned over the hour. There have been so many questions, so much interaction that we couldn't reply to all of them. Asking about Ricky, Firpo, Camavinga, Eric Garcia, Emerson. There's so much, guys. So hopefully we covered a lot there. I think we did. We went over Koeman and certain players, what we can do with the team in the future, and we're going to be doing way more of these in the future on Barca Boys channel, on Blaugrana Planet's channel. So check those guys out. Their apps are in the title and their links are in the description. All of the guys watching, guys, feel free to subscribe to Barca Universal. I do like loads and loads of videos on here, previews, reviews, live shows like this. We're going to do more of in the future, so that would be greatly appreciated. And thank you to everyone who tuned into the live stream today, and thank you again to you guys for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Barca Boy. It's a pleasure to join you once again. Awesome to chat with Culers, and looking forward for the next one.
Yeah, definitely. We have so much to talk about. I'm convinced we could do this for 5 hours every day, but we got to wrap it up sometime, guys. We'll try and get this like a weekly thing on all of our channels. But yeah, we're going to leave it there. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Again, thank you guys for coming, and see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.